If he moved up to 205, your thoughts on that?
I think Alex is mid. He had the title by luck.
Trans face on a bottle. You're not going to drink, but it does. I'm in my head. I'm like, it doesn't change the taste of the beer.
Exactly.
Doesn't change who makes the beer. It doesn't change how much it costs for the beer. Nothing. Like, not a single damn thing. Hey guys, welcome to the False Line here with episode 128. We're here with a different person, as you can see here. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. So Zach, like we mentioned in the last episode, he hit the jackpot. He put 100,000 on Israel to win, and I haven't heard from him. I haven't talked to him. I've called him, texted him, emailed him, and I just get no response. So we'll see what happens right now. In the meantime, this is what we're working with. So to be honest, I think we did a good job replacing Zach. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. It's going to be a nice, sweet one for your happy Friday. We're going to talk a little bit about replying to some haters, talk about just current events. Nate Diaz and Jake Paul got announced. We got some Bud Light situation. We got some Twitter beef. Drake Bell possibly might get there or not. He goes missing in Mexico after doing a podcast in Mexico, so that's pretty cool to talk about. And I got something, just a little extra funny stuff at the end. So let's get started. We kind of talked a little bit talking about if Alex was to move up, if he can be like a double champ or triple champ. We talked about it last week. I was telling you about it right now. You say you don't think he could do that.
Yeah.
And just to start off, could give you a break. You know, you're not a
disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
I know I'm a girl. I watch UFC, so
why are you doing all that?
Because I get pumped watching it, but I know there's a lot of haters who'll say I'm a casual, and I am, okay? But I still like to have fun and watch it. Okay,
cool. So you think Alex cannot move up and be a champ? So right when he fought Izzy, they fought at 185 on fight. So I guess I'll give you a little backstory. So they have to make weight at 185 on weigh-ins, right? So the day of the fight, so on weigh-ins, he weighs 185, and then the day of the fight, from my understanding, he weighs 220.
Yeah.
So he picks up like 35 pounds in one day.
Yeah.
Israel doesn't get that much weight back. He probably gets like 15 to 20.
Okay.
But Alex gets 30 to 35.
Just looking at him.
It's massive.
He looks bigger. He just looks like he has more bone density in him.
So you don't think, okay, back to if he moved up to 205, your thoughts on that? And yeah.
I think Alex is mid.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, why do you think so?
Just like the very first fight that I watched, I still remember I was like, oh, he's going to get beat up.
Yeah.
And that was against
Israel.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, he can move, but I think he's like such a big dinosaur that he just moves slow. I can't picture him, or I haven't seen him like grappling. I haven't seen him on the floor. Like, he looks like he hits hard, but it's just like, I feel like he had the title by luck. And I think I had told you that before.
Yeah. A lot of people think that him getting the title, him knocking out Izzy, was kind of luck. Which it kind of was, but, I don't really believe in luck, because he stood there the whole fight, fought with Izzy, and then he just caught him. But I agree. Izzy took him down, and Alex looked terrible. And Alex has been only in the UFC. I think that was his fourth fight in the UFC when he fought Israel the first time. And then the fifth one was with Israel again. And they didn't even go to the ground at all. So if he moves up to 205, I definitely think someone that is anywhere like 200 pounds or heavier because on fight night, they'll be definitely over 205. If anyone gets their hands on Alex and takes him to the ground, it's going to be a long day for Alex, or in a short fight, probably.
I feel like I've seen big dudes move quick.
Does
ever surprise you? Big dudes moving quick. He's just not that big dude who knows how to move quickly.
Yeah, I just think he's really, really technical on the feet. I got a lot of hate for saying that, because I even said, if he was to fight John Jones on the feet, it would be a very competitive fight. But that's just me, because I don't know. I see Alex throw kicks and jabs and hooks. I'm like, it's just so snappy. It's just nice.
Jones will murder him.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But he did just announce on his YouTube channel that he's moving up to 205.
Oh, good for him.
And the champion of 205 is already calling him out. He's like, I'll see you here.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that, there's only like 4 good fighters. There's like 4 or 5 good fighters at 205. This guy named Yuri Porzaka, I don't know how to say his last name, but I don't know if you ever saw him. He was all bald and he had like a ponytail right here. I don't know if you ever saw him.
It's not a man bun, is it?
No, it's just like he's bald and he had like a ponytail. No.
Sounds crazy though.
So he fought Glover Teixeira, and Glover is coaching Alex Pereira now, but Glover just retired. And this guy Glover and Jamal Hill fought for the heavyweight, and Jamal Hill won. So now it's kind of like, who does Jamal Hill fight next? Because Yuri, the guy with the man bun, he's hurt and he had surgery on his shoulder. So if Alex moves up, then I mean, why not another title fight for pay-per-view to make some good money? But that would be a really good fight because you'll see Alex Pereira at his weight. Is he going to be better because now the weight cut is less like draining on his body, or are we going to see him get strangled on the ground?
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. So like I said, he's moving up. I really hope and I really think Alex can be double champ at 2 weight classes, and I think it can be very competitive there for him, and I think he makes that weight class just so much more interesting.
What if Izzy just follows him?
That's what people are talking about. Like, what if like he does that, he becomes champ, and then Izzy goes and takes the belt away from him?
Yeah, like
that'd be crazy.
Champ.
So I don't know if you know, but Izzy already tried moving up once to 205, and he lost. It was a championship fight.
Oh, gotcha.
And he just got beat up. He got the guy who he fought just took him to the ground and put his heavyweight all over him. Yeah, it was kind of a boring fight, and you just saw the big weight difference in between Israel and this guy that he fought. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, just 185 and up, that weight class just got so much interesting because of those 2 guys. And John Jones is sitting in light heavyweight, and I feel like he has no competition. People are talking about how John Jones might fight Izzy if they both meet at 205. That would be a crazy fight.
That would be crazy.
But we'll see. I think Izzy sleeps John Jones because he's just too old now. I'm for real. And he's just, I don't know if you saw that fight with.
Yeah, he was kind of slow.
And he's a little big, chubby, like me. So, and then just to point this out, Henry Cejudo, you saw this picture, little goofy looking dude. Yeah. But he was a double champ in 2 weight classes, an Olympic medalist for wrestling too. So it's a pretty good history. And he says that he's just disappointed in Alex for deciding to move up to 205 and not getting the trilogy with Israel Adesanya. And I mean, the Adesanya and Alex Pereira, they've fought in total of 4 or 5 times already, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think it's 4 times. And no, I think it's 5. I think it's 3 in kickboxing.
I think this was the 4th one.
I might be wrong. You're right.
Yeah.
You might be right. I don't know. But they fought 4 to 5 times already. And Alex has won in the UFC. Israel has won in the UFC. So it's just like, do they fight again? Do they move on? What are your thoughts on that? Like, if you think they should run it back right away or no?
No, I think that fight has established like who the real guy is. So he probably wants to hold on to that belt for a while before, I don't know, wanting to give it up again. Yeah. And he like
he's gonna have to fight someone else.
Yeah, well, he like won in like such a badass way that like he doesn't have to prove himself to anyone. Yeah. So. And
the thing about that is that even in the last fight, Israel Adesanya won 4 rounds, and Alex just won that one because he knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then this one, same thing. I think. Well, maybe Alex won that first round this time, but same thing. Like Israel was completely dominant. But I think it'd be cool if they run it back at 205 in the future, like in 2 years.
I guess.
Or no longer than that.
Yeah.
So last boxing or fighting, whatever, Nate Diaz and Jake Paul got announced. I think it was yesterday or today.
I think I sent it to you yesterday.
Yeah. They're fighting in Dallas.
I know.
What are your thoughts about that fight?
It makes me so sad.
Why? Because
like
Nate Diaz is going to get beat up?
Yeah, no, I like Nate Diaz, and it's just like, it looks like he's just chasing the bag, which is sad because he's so old. And, I mean, he was, like, such a brawler with UFC that now that he's going to go here, it's just, like, I kind of feel bad because it's, like, it's obvious that he's chasing the bag. Yeah.
It's a good bag, though. It's a couple mil.
I just feel like he wasn't taken care of by the UFC. So, like, that's why he's doing this. And that's why it makes me sad because I like him. Yeah. I can't stand Jake Paul, so hopefully Nate does kick his ass.
if Nate beats him up, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
But Because, like, Jake Paul's just bigger. And I understand that Nate has a lot of experience. But who knows? I think the fight's going to be good. I think it's going to sell a lot of pay-per-views. And we'll see if we go. We'll see if
we are not going.
What?
No, really? I'm not going to spend money for that.
What if I spend money?
I mean, you can, but that's
I don't think the tickets are going to be that expensive.
I wouldn't pay over $100 to see that.
I'll pay up to like $150 each.
You could just watch it for free at home.
I could. But it'd be cool to be there.
I guess.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool. It just also too depends how the fight card is. But we'll talk more about that fight when it does happen. Like I said, that just got announced. Pretty cool, pretty interesting. I thought it was interesting that it got announced this fast. Like, Nate Diaz just fought his last fight like not so long ago.
Yeah.
Who did he fight on his last fight? He got like beat up.
What's the backstory with him like retiring? Like, was he just old? But did he get hurt?
Oh no, they just never. So he was trying to fight Jake Paul like a while back ago, and Dana White wasn't letting him. Like, you know how like Conor got to go fight Mayweather? He was trying to do the same thing, but since he was in contract, Dana was like, nah, you can't. And it was all because Dana doesn't like Jake. And also, too, because he know that Nate Diaz is going to make a lot of money. And there was just, I think, mixed emotions. And he just didn't want Nate going over there when he had a contract in the UFC.
Yeah, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah. So I wish that would have happened because Nate would have been in a better position to fight Jake Paul. And because all this time, too, Jake Paul's already had like 3 fights. So, you know, and this is going to be Nate's first, like, fight in boxing. So who knows how he's going to feel about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as soon as I forgot. Oh, he fought Chimaev like 2 months ago. But Jake Paul and Tommy Dillard just got done fighting, like a month ago, it feels like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that was pretty quick to just announce it. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
I mean, it sounds like a good fight.
Yeah. And they've been trying to make it for a long time, too. So.
I've listened. There's a few, like, podcasts that they just talk about how shitty, like, the UFC pays these fighters. And so I think that, like, Nate just going out and fighting Jake Paul, it's just obvious he's doing it for money reasons. And have they ever had any beef? I don't know.
Yeah, they like little back what is it, backstage beef?
Oh,
like throwing shit at each other, stuff like that. So, but the thing with like the fighter pay or the UFC stuff, like Daniel Cormier, I don't know if you know who he is, or DC. He's an announcer with Joe Rogan. He's like the big black dude.
Yeah.
So he was talking about how like starting like the fighter pay and stuff, and he was talking about like how Izzy was making like 5-10 million a fight.
Yeah.
And then you make like 4 or 5 million after the fight.
Pick and choose. I mean,
McGregor. McGregor. They said McGregor. DC was like McGregor was like making like 20 mil a fight.
Damn.
But I guess that like as a UFC fighter you can make money, but you got to be that draw.
How many UFC fighters are there?
Like 5.
Exactly.
There's Izzy. Jorge Masvidal was probably one of them too. Like 4 mil. Who else was there? John Jones, Conor. Khabib was making 10 million per fight. That's what they said. That's what he said. So I mean that's like 4 or 5 people. That's about it. Yeah. Everyone else is probably making not a few, but a lot of 100,000s. So yeah, it kind of sucks. And also too, we got to think about when we only watch like a lot of pay-per-view stuff.
Yeah.
So that's only like not even 15 fighters, like about 12 fighters.
Yeah. That
we watch. You know, and then on top of that, we don't really watch all those fights, but like 2 fights on most fight cards. So I guess it does kind of make sense, like who and how they get the pay-per-view views and how they get paid.
Yeah, how they generate their revenue, I guess.
Yeah, because every Saturday they have like UFC fight night, and I'm like, I wonder how much they get paid. Like on Saturday there'll be a fight night, like this guy named Max Holloway and someone else. I was like, I wonder if they're making like more than 100 grand per fight, or is it not even that close?
I don't think it's that close.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if it's not. Which, whatever. Moving on to some what do you want to call it? Controversy. Could get canceled. I don't believe in that. So, anyways, Bud Light, and I don't want to butcher this guy's last name. Transition into a girl now.
Mulvaney.
Dylan. Say the last name.
Mulvaney.
Dylan Mulvaney. So, from my understanding, this is just an assumption. It was a guy who turned into a girl. Do you agree with that? Because I don't know, 100%.
What do you mean?
Because it looks like a girl, right?
Okay.
But I'm assuming it's a guy who transitioned into a girl.
So if you're transitioning and you're currently and you identify as a girl, then you transition from a male.
Oh.
Okay. So he was the guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't know much about the person in general. I did a little bit of research. It looked like they're a trans influencer for the trans community. Positive. You know the deal. Okay. So him or her, I'm so sorry. Her and Bud Light teamed up, partnered up, and they put her face on Bud Light bottles. And a lot of people, right-wing people specifically, them good old Christians in the South, they don't like that stuff. So, yeah, like Bud Light stock tanked a little bit. I heard a lot of little clips here and there that a lot of bars are turning down Bud Light. They're like, don't bring that over here no more.
That's crazy.
I'm like, over this, bro?
Yeah.
Over some trans face on a bottle. You're not going to drink Bud Light. It does. I'm in my head. I'm like, it doesn't change the taste of the beer. Exactly. Doesn't change who makes the beer. It doesn't change how much it costs for the beer. Nothing. Like, not a single damn thing. Just because they decided to partner up with the trans. And I'm just like, and I try to put myself in this position. Like, why would I turn down this beer? If I'm like either a gasoline store or I have my own bar, like why would I turn down, Bud Light? I'm like, let's say if I am a really right-wing Southern Christian or whatever religion they are, and I feel like most of those people are also people who like just have, no, I'm not even going to go there. But I put myself in this position, like, okay, let's say I don't agree with trans and I don't really agree with like the gay stuff, like that's just like, oh no, like that's not allowed, that's not okay, which a lot of people do believe that, and that's their beliefs, that's fine. But I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out how to put myself like, why would I say no? Why do I have a problem with this? Why? And I can't figure it out. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just like, at that point you're almost kind of like discriminating. I feel like it's like you're just not liking it because someone said, oh, like that's your beliefs. Like that's my beliefs. I don't, I was like, I understand that, but what is your beliefs got to do with beer and like this partnership? Mm-hmm. Like what is that combo right there got to do with your beliefs? Because even if Bud Light, they're like, okay, they support trans and they support that community, which that's why I'm assuming they partnered up together to make that movement and stuff like that. I'm just like, okay, like that's Bud Light's business and that's how they want to support that community. Again, like how does that, in my head, I was like, how would that affect my beliefs if I was that person? And I just can't figure it out.
Yeah. Some people are just hateful. Because,
I mean, that's the only thing I can conclude to. It's just like, you're just almost discriminating. I understand that maybe it's not like a very popular, gender or race or ethnicity, whatever you may call it. It's like, it's not common and it's maybe to you, it's not normal. But at the end of the day, it's just like, what does that got to do with you and this beer?
Yeah.
Or even when like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say like, when someone goes, a distributor drops off this beer, like that shit comes in like those what is they called? Like when you get draft beer, what is that called? The thing.
Oh, damn.
It's like a can, not a can, but it's just a big old thing. I was like, you can't even see Bud Light. But I understand if you're selling bottles, okay, you see Bud Light. But this is a very specific bottle that you probably get from the gasoline store, Or maybe it is going out at bars. I don't know.
Let's just eliminate the beer, eliminate the money.
Okay.
Just forget that. It's just a fact that you are spending so much time hating on something that just does not affect you.
Yeah.
It's spending the energy hating something or somebody. It's spending the time, like, instead of focusing on them or, focusing on that hate, put it into something else. I don't know, find something to do, find something that you like. If you don't like what they're doing, pay attention to your own business. Like, you don't have to support them. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to pay attention to them.
Do you think it's okay for like these bars to like just be completely turning down Bud Light? Or how do you feel about that?
I mean, if the bars want to lose money, then I guess, it's up to them. It's their business. They can do whatever they want. If they say they don't stand with it and they don't want to sell it, then okay, that's understandable. That's your business. But at the same time, it's like, why do you have to mix business with your beliefs.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the same thing with politics. You don't have to mix politics with religion. Just keep it aside. It brings so many more problems.
Damn, that was pretty good. Clip it. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't know. Like I said, I really thought about it, and I'll admit to it. Like, and I don't say this in any hateful way. You know, when it comes to like trans and the LG, can you finish that?
LGBTQ.
Like that movement, I don't understand it, and like I don't. I'm not like what is it like? How do I say it?
We don't have to understand.
Yeah,
it.
but like I'm not like, oh yeah, like supporting 100%.
Exactly.
But in my head, I'm just like, you know what? Like I have my beliefs and they have their beliefs, and like I want in general people to be happy in whatever form they like want to be happy in. And it's like that's cool, but like if Modelo was to put like a trans or a gay dude on Modelo, but I'm gonna drink it. Like I'm just like I don't care. Like I'm gonna still get my Modelo. Like, and I'm sure like a lot of that's not true. I'm sure there's a good handful of people who just be like, I'm just gonna drink my Modelo. Like that's it. But I'm sure there'd be a lot of other people that how they're reacting to Bud Light. So I don't know.
That'd
and also too
interesting.
Also too, I guess it would be interesting because Bud Light's like drinkers, most of them are white.
Yeah.
So it's kind of different. And like I said, right wing, most of them are what are they called?
Conservative.
Anglo-Saxon.
A boy.
Anglo-Saxon. But yeah, like the I guess it would be interesting how if Modelo would get any backlash. Can you imagine if they put it like the trans in like Bush Ice? You know what I'm talking about? Or Keystone, Budweiser.
Yeah,
people would go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
put that shit on Coronas and Modelo.
Yeah,
I
chill. Wonder if Modelo and Corona would get the same backlash as Bud Light is getting.
It'd be a good PR move for them, for Modelo and Corona to do that. Mexicans, you know, they crazy.
If they do, they better give you your money for bringing that up.
I was like, but I mean, yeah, like if they could put a Modelo, like you want to see the Modelo bottle right here, me and you or Zach, if he ever comes back, we'll be drinking Modelo. Yeah. You know, like it's.
I don't drink Modelo. I mean, yeah, I drink Modelo. I don't drink Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Yeah.
My dad used to drink Bud Light.
I don't care for it.
Yeah.
But this isn't the first time.
Oh no!
Like in a beer company. Yeah. I know Coors recently, maybe about a few years ago.
Who?
Coors Light.
What they do?
They like made a can for gays.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like a pride flag on their Coors bottles.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember them getting that much hate.
Yeah, but I think the trans thing, I feel like people still don't haven't, like I feel like the LGBTQ. I feel like they just kind of like establish themselves like, hey, this is who we are and we're here to stay.
Yeah.
And I feel like the trans community hasn't got there yet. And I feel like that's why maybe they were getting a lot of backlash too. I don't know.
Well, I think they're part, well, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, but I think they're trying to be a part of LGBTQ community because it's like LGBTQ plus and then I don't know the other words. But I mean, I think Bud Light, good for you. Like, if you're, because you know this is going to be a controversial subject, and you still took that initiative to.
Yeah, they knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, and then you still took that initiative as a company to, go after what you believe or support what you believe and forget everyone else. And if you do lose, a few dollars or whatever amount of money it is, then I think they'll be back. Yeah, no, I mean they'll be back. I mean, there's a lot of companies that they had like their dips over. I know when Cristiano Ronaldo. No, I'm saying, sorry. I'm just saying like everyone will be all pissed off. And then a few months or a couple of years later, everyone's going to forget. Yeah. And then they're going to be drinking Bud Light again. Yeah. You remember when Cristiano Ronaldo in the interview or the press conference, he moved to Coke? Yeah. He's like, agua, water. The Coke stock like dropped too, like for like a day or two. Then it just went back to normal though. But yeah. You see, no one cares. Stop making a big deal.
Yeah, that's that. Hopefully, I like to see when things get stirred up like that though. Like people get mad about stuff. Like, get mad all you want. Nobody cares, bro. Yeah. So it kind of moves into another group or type of what is it called? Like company type of people are getting upset. So kind of give you a little bit of background here. We both know Elon took over Twitter, bought Twitter. And ever since he got it and why he got it, he thinks that freedom of speech is important and how, yada, yada. So recently, from my understanding, I could be wrong, and I am wrong a lot of times, he started labeling like media or broadcasting or journalist companies. So, for example, right now, like NPR, who basically said they're not going to post anything on Twitter anymore. The reason being is because now under their Twitter handle, it'll say government funded or state funded. So basically, this news or reporting a company, they're funded by the government.
So I would think that people would think it's less reliable if it's government funded.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because then you can say like, well, it's funded by the government, so the government's going to tell you what to what the headlines should be and stuff like that. And it's so funny because you go to these to get your information. Usually it's news, right? And everyone's bashing Twitter. Everybody. And I was like, damn, they're hitting on Elon. Why? And in my head, I'm like, you're so stupid, bro. It's because Elon is literally exposing these news outlets.
Yeah.
And in a small way, nothing crazy, but it's just so funny how they're getting so mad because I seen one. I don't know which media outlet was like, yeah, with Elon, he says one thing and it's another. It's like he doesn't make his mind, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, you got to understand, this is Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. Homie started PayPal and then sold it, and then started SpaceX and then took over Tesla and made it what it is. It's just like, it's just funny to see how these media outlets are getting mad by that. But yeah, he's basically put that label on the media outlets, which I think is pretty funny.
I think it's crazy how one person has more influence than any other media company.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, like people are trusting him and Twitter to, be honest.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And like I said, a lot of media outlets are getting upset. They're talking about how BBC, I think is one of them, in like the UK, Europe world or side of the world. I haven't heard too much about like ones here in the States, like Fox or all those big names out there. But like I said, it's pretty funny, and I'm really happy and excited about it because I'm like, we should be able to know what media outlets are funded by the government. And NPR, I think their CEO was saying like the government funds only like 1% or something like that. Like it's very something like, which
1% could be a really high number when you're speaking millions.
So I'm just like, and I don't know if he said it's only 1% or he was saying it's less than 10%. Because he said, and the reason why I'm getting them mixed up is because he was saying like Twitter, like the users on Twitter that go to NPR is either less than 10% or less than 1%. And I got those two numbers and data's confused. But either way, it's 10% and 1%. It is a big difference. But when you talk about money, whether it's 1 or 10, it's still a lot. So,
well, let's be honest, like generationally speaking, we're not going to go to the news anymore.
Yeah. And you go to Twitter.
Yeah. We go to Twitter. Mm-hmm. If we just don't care for the news as much, if we don't want to consume it as much, or, we just don't believe in it.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like not a lot of people like before, you're not watching cable at 5 p.m. waiting for the news, Yeah. It's the latest thing, as soon as a crazy thing happens around the world, it's on the internet like within minutes. So, and Twitter was one of those big, social media apps that, it has like a little search function. It'll show you everything that's trending. Mm-hmm. And that's basically all the news you can get like instant. And I think that's why a lot of these media outlets are upset, because I was like, well, now we're posting this stuff, but at the same time, it shows that we're government funded. And people are going to have mixed emotion about us. And I was like, why not give them that option? Let them choose whatever emotion they want to feel towards you guys. And if you guys are government funded, then accept how it is.
I would like listening to the news. I would listen to CNN or Fox if they weren't just screaming at each other the entire time. It's just so fucking toxic.
I know. It's so funny.
It is funny. I think people are they're waking up. Like, no one wants to hear all those rants,
Yeah.
And they're all one-sided. Give the people the opportunity to do their own research and believe in, people who aren't being paid by a specific party to generate all the news.
Yup. Facts. But that's that. Little fun stuff here at the end. Now, end of the show. I was telling you, we both... do you watch Drake and Josh, right?
I don't watch it anymore.
You watched it though, right?
I did.
So today I seen on Twitter actually that Drake Bell went missing. But it's funny because he only went missing for like 30 minutes because then like they posted like, oh, he's been found by the police.
Oh my!
But what was funny, not funny, but I didn't even look up this guy's name. He did a podcast in Monterrey, Mexico, with this very famous podcaster. I wish I know his name. He does a lot of interviews with big Mexican or Latin names. He's really big, really popular in Monterrey. And he did a podcast with Drake, and he did it in English. And I want to watch it because I love Drake and Josh. Like I loved it.
Boy.
and I love Drake. Like I really liked his character in the show. So I was like, I want to watch it. I probably will watch it. But I was like, dang, can you imagine if he got like he got robbed by like the Mexicans over there, like the cartel?
Was that
because they knew it was Drake?
Was that the conspiracy?
Well, that's my conspiracy because he went missing. And I was like, the podcast just got uploaded yesterday.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, oh, he went missing.
No, that was just my conclusion. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see the comments.
So
or
you
nothing.
were like, oh, he went missing in Mexico.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's how I'm going to clip it, though.
He was living life in Mexico.
He probably was living life in Mexico, but he went missing, and I was like, damn. And then like I kept scrolling, and I was like, oh, he's been found. Oh, I was like, that's bogus. You know?
Damn, did you want him
No. I just wanted some more drama, I guess.
There was one of them. I can't remember if it was Drake or Josh. They kind of went a little bit crazy after the show.
Josh.
Oh.
He became like a drug addict.
Oh, that's sad.
But he's not. He's been clean for a while now.
Good for him.
But yeah, he kind of went a little. He does like YouTube. He was or he is. I thought with like the Dave Dobrik crew. He was like with them, or he's with like involved with them.
You know what I just thought about? They should have picked that guy from Mr. Beast to do Bud Light.
I was gonna bring that up, but I didn't want to because like I have like I actually feel bad for Mr. Beast because it's a really really hard situation, and I don't know how Mr. Beast feels or how he is. I just like if that happened to me, it'd just be really hard to handle.
Yeah, I understand.
You know, and because now you have this side of this person, you know, come out.
Met.
Yeah, and come out and you don't know if it ties into your channel, and also too like if you cut off and I wish I knew his or her name now, like if you cut him off, now you're gonna look bad. Like, are you transphobic or what's going on? And I mean, I don't think he's ever gonna be scared if he has to make that decision, but like I said, it just puts him like in a tough situation.
I mean, with those kind of big changes, you know, it is possible that they go their own way. But also too, them being friends for so long, I don't think it's a surprise to Mr. Beast.
No, I don't think so either. But and it'd be crazy if it is though.
Yeah.
But there was like a live stream that they had, and a lot of people clipped a lot of parts of that live or that video, and they were saying like how Mr. Beast feels uncomfortable and how Chandler felt uncomfortable in this other video. But I don't know. I think they're just trying to stir up the pot a little bit, but who knows? But it's crazy how that just turned out.
What if it's a big, massive stunt?
That would be even... No, Mr. Beast probably get canceled.
Yeah, that would definitely cancel him.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
So, last thing. I want to mention this because when I saw this picture, I related to it. And I know you got brothers, but I don't know if you ever got to see them. Like, you know how Walmart, they used to have that game in the game section? They have the remote right here and the TV right there?
Probably.
Dang, you don't remember?
I think so.
But anyways, to my...
Like at Target when we went?
Yeah, but... It was like cooler back then. Okay. So to my my guys out there, you know. So like I saw this picture. It's basically the little kid playing like, you know, the game, and then you got the TV screen. And it was funny because you'd be like hours playing. I'd be like, my mom be doing groceries at Walmart, you know, and I'll be just like this. And at the end, like your neck start hurting because you were just looking up so long. So I thought that was pretty funny. And if anyone watching, if that ever happened to you where your neck started hurting, let me know, because I knew I wasn't the only one.
Was it just one game?
So they were like, it was like the PlayStation section, GameCube, and like Xbox. So they usually had like 2 or 3 little TVs.
I do remember.
With the control sticking out.
Okay, yes. It was like really high.
Yeah, it was up there. It was like where that light bulb's at.
Yeah, I remember.
But it was funny, and you can only play demo games. So it was pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the funny Walmart?
It's just like, that's the funny. That's it. I shouldn't have said funny. Just like nostalgic, more like
Oh, but did you see a picture that reminded you of that?
Yeah, and I thought it was funny.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. It was a little kid just. I was like, that was me every time. So, yep. Well, you survived.
Yay.
You made it. You did it. And I'm gonna clip you a few times. We'll see if you go viral or not.
Okay.
It'll be funny if you do. The first clip I'm gonna use is the UFC content.
No.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Have you seen those videos where like girls are playing video games?
Maybe.
And like they just get shit on, like go wash dishes, go cook.
Men are haters.
Okay, hold on. Don't not go there.
I am gonna go there.
And I was like, it's gonna be so funny, like if you get the same backlash
I
for the
have
UFC
older
stuff.
brothers. Like I've
Okay,
heard it all.
calm down.
I'm just saying, don't hurt my feelings. I will go after you. I know I'm a casual.
Now they're really gonna come after you.
That's whatever.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed episode 128. And Zach, if you're watching, just let me know something.
You've been replaced, Zach.
That's it.
I'm the new co-host of The False Nine. Peace.